You see what's going on. Yeah, it has been a long time, but welcome back to In the Slant. It has been way too long, and we are finally back. We are committed, and we are ready. So we want to apologize first and foremost. The problem is Dustin just went to Europe, and we could not record any episodes, basically. Dustin was on a full-time business trip, and he basically just left us all behind. So blame him if you want to blame somebody. So how was Europe, bud?
Europe was amazing. I honestly had a great time. I honestly made a lot of money. I forgot about this channel, honestly, because how much money I was making when I was gone.
In all seriousness, though, we slacked. A couple weeks went by where people were getting sick.
I think it was like Jared first, and then literally like the next week it was me.
And then new jobs and life got in the way, and we
scheduling's hard for all of us.
Yeah, and it got really hard. And a few people were reaching out to me, and I would run into people in real life, and they would say like, "Why'd you guys stop?" And it didn't have a good answer. No excuses. We slacked bad, and a lot of people have reached out to me since and said that it was really cool that we were doing that. We were helping them keep them updated and stuff like that. So I want to say we're back. Football is right around the corner, and we want to be committed to this again. And we don't want to ever go on this hiatus again, basically. So we are committed. We are back, and I'm happy to be here. And I'm sure we're all here. So we're all happy to be here. So
yes,
regardless, football right around the corner. Just had the Hall of Fame game. Preseason is in full effect. Preseason I think starts literally Thursday. By the time you're seeing this, it literally starts tomorrow, I believe. So I'm very, very excited. Football is here, man. We got fantasy football coming. All kinds of stuff is here, and we got some news to go over as well. Roquan Smith has officially requested a trade out of Chicago, which is literally their best player, arguably. So this is not a good look for the Bears, especially after the whole Tevin Jenkins thing as well.
Oh yeah, especially like that too is like they already lost Allen Robinson, which was arguably probably like their best player on offense, and now their best player on defense is requesting a trade too. I mean, like obviously it kind of looks like the Bears need to go into a rebuild state anyways, because I mean they haven't really been doing much recently anyway. So, but at the same time, it's kind of sucks to see, especially if you're a Bears fan. You guys have been so like subpar or bad for years.
They're in a weird spot right now.
Like, I feel like they had that one playoff year with like Andy Dalton, right?
Was it? No, Andy Dalton played there last year, and they were bad, I think.
Wait, who was before Andy Dalton and the Bears?
It was Mitchell Trubisky, I believe.
Oh yeah, that was his first year in the NFL too. They made it to playoffs.
Yeah,
I remember that.
That was because their defense was legit.
Super good.
And they still had Khalil Mack at that time, I believe.
Yeah, it's gonna be a huge miss, especially with losing Khalil, and then also now one of their best linebackers wants out. So I mean, if they do make the trade and send him out, it's going to be a huge loss. And just like what you said, Dustin, it's going to be a rebuild season for them because...
I mean, it already kind of is.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure.
So, but if they lose this huge piece of their defense, yeah, I mean, they're going to have to start figuring stuff out real quick before the season starts.
And apparently they lowballed him on his contract, which I can understand. They want to keep one of their best players, try to get him on, a contract that works out for them. But since obviously that's not going to work out, him leaving is going to hurt them. And like Dustin said, I think rebuild mode is important for them.
And I mean, even if you're Roquan Smith, like maybe you take a little bit less somewhere else, but like if it's a caliber team where like you make an instant fucking change, then me taking a pay cut to leave the Bears, I'm like, that's fine with me.
That's up to him at that point.
He's 24, 25 years old, so this is going to be his first contract off his rookie extension. And in the tweet, he said that the Bears basically lowballed him to where it would have ruined the linebacker market. So like if he signed it, other linebackers would have been pissed. Kind of similar to how Christian Kirk upped the wide receiver market when he signed his big deal in Jacksonville. So if Roquan Smith signed this lowball offer, but like I said, they already had Tevin Jenkins. There were some trade rumors about, which is crazy because he was literally just a rookie last year. And then he wasn't showing up, but I did see that he actually showed up to practice today. So sounds like they're going to be fine for the most part. But if they do end up not coming to a deal with Roquan Smith, it sounds like a scenario where Roquan would probably not play, I would imagine. And then he'd be, I don't even know what you'd do from there. I mean,
you think there's a chance he'd hold out?
See, like, I feel like it's based, I don't even know, to be honest with you. Like, Le'Veon Bell did it that one time, and Jesse Bates, I'm still not even sure what's going on with that situation. Like, I don't know if a player can hold out like that. I know they're going to lose money by doing that because, like, I get NBA and NFL, like, contract things, like, mixed up a little bit. Like, Ben Simmons was allowed to sit out all year and stuff like that. And then Le'Veon Bell did it as well off the franchise
lost
tag.
A lot of money.
He lost a lot of money on that. And then he signed with the Jets and looked awful. So, I mean, I don't know if you really hold out. I think it just depends on the player. Some players feel empowered enough to do it, and I don't think he does with how young he is, but
like me and Dustin always say, like, say this player does end up playing and gets hurt and then messes up his future contract for whoever he ends up signing with or goes to. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I feel like that's a decision.
Players want security in that sense.
And exactly. And like another thing too, you got to think about if you're Roquan Smith is just that you've seen all these younger like players just getting like these huge like I mean I know a lot of them are offensive players, but like still like these people are the same age as Roquan, and like Roquan thinks he deserves like not obviously as much pay as a wide receiver, but he deserves a big contract like these other good linebackers that prove why they're getting paid that.
Yeah, he put in the work, and I mean, him taking that contract and ruining the linebacker market would have really screwed up how those players are going to get paid, because we all know when you go into after your rookie contract, you go on those prime years. So I mean, that's where you get paid. So this is probably one of the biggest contracts of his career at this time. So him not signing the deal he wants, I mean, it could reflect on his whole career.
And you said he's 25 too, so that's
he's like 24.
Yeah,
25.
so he's young coming off that rookie contract.
But yeah, like
so.
injuries can happen. That's why players don't show up when they're not on a security. Obviously, like Terry McLaurin refused to practice or anything like that until he got his extension, which I totally understood because he's done a lot for this franchise already as it is. But injuries, man, have been kind of the story. We haven't even got to preseason, and there's been quite a few injuries around the league, and it's making me sad. Notably, I could think of like Tim Patrick. Mekhi Becton was just announced today. Those are two guys that immediately come to mind. And remind me if I'm forgetting about anybody else.
The Browns returner.
Jakeem Grant.
Yeah.
Jakeem Grant got hurt. I mean, there's some others out there I'm sure we're missing.
One of our linebackers got hurt. Forgot his name.
And like, there's been a bunch of depth players. Like, there's a few depth players on the Raiders that are like out for the season too that I know of. And like, that's just because I only know that because like I pay attention to the Raiders.
Right,
but like, I'm sure there's other teams like that we don't really like focus up on and know like all their little name players, but they could be losing depth too, like every day.
Yeah, Packers wide receiver depth is kind of going down a little bit too, with Sammy starting off on the PUP, and then same with Christian Watson, that new wide receiver on the PUP list. But
I feel like I'm forgetting about a significant name right now of somebody who else got injured. Like Torres ACL is not going to play this year, but I literally just can't think of it. But that's how training camp has been. Obviously, I'm pretty sure most of us don't pay attention to every single team's training camp, but like we probably have seen a few plays of our own teams.
I've seen a few plays of my own teams. I've seen a few like when you see like those quarterback highlight plays where you see like them throwing like a good pass. Like obviously, I saw that video of like Tua. Like I saw the one of him overthrowing Tyreek, and I saw the video of him throwing a dot to Tyreek too. So
Tyreek Hill has been on record saying that Tua can throw a damn football. What is it? I don't even. No,
he literally said that he can throw. I think
like the best spiral football or something like that.
Best throw or best deep ball. I don't remember.
No. It was that. He said that he was the best deep ball threat. Oh my god, I can't speak. Deep ball threat.
Yeah, that's so funny. Yeah, that's crazy.
Like, I'd say the same thing, but you got a contract like that in Miami too.
Yeah, majority of the stuff I've been seeing from like Twitter and stuff is Tay highlights, man. Him lighting up over there in Las Vegas, and man, that's so exciting. That's exciting.
Yeah,
I mean, dude,
low-key crying.
Low-key, dude, it's sad as hell, but if that dude's happy, I'm happy. We got to restart and rebuild that wide receiver.
Quit lying. You ain't happy.
Dude, okay, I wasn't happy, but man, he got paid. He got the contract he wanted. He's where he wants to be with his college quarterback. Although the Hall of Famer quote kind of got me, but it's not a big deal. It's funny, honestly.
Listen,
Derek Carr Hall of Famer?
About to see this year. Let's see what he can do.
He's got weapons now, so I mean, he ain't got to
still don't have is an O-line. Our O-line is still going. I don't know what the hell we're doing.
Is there anything in training camp from your guys' own team that you've seen that like you immediately like? For me, Carson Wentz has been like all over the place. Apparently, one day he looks awesome, then the next day. And Jared sent me a tweet. They said, I just got out of Commanders, or they said Redskins practice, and we're not winning a game this year and stuff like that. So Wentz apparently has been like hot and cold. So today I saw tweets that he looked really good today. So don't even know what to expect going into this season, honestly.
For us, sorry to cut you off there, but for one of our receivers, James Prochet, I'm sure you guys don't know who he is, but
I've heard of him.
Yeah, every training camp he seems to go off, but in games he never gets reps. So hopefully this year I hope he gets the reps because I know he's a dog.
I know a few players like that.
Yeah, that don't get the reps but are really good. You know what I mean?
In practice they always look really good, but in game they just don't get the targets or whatever it may be.
And we all know who to blame for that on the Ravens, right?
Lamar?
No. What? Greg Roman.
Yeah. Greg Roman, my bad.
Yeah, his OC.
I mean, the biggest thing that I've seen from the Packers so far is Jordan Love stepping up in the spot. I guess one practice they told him to let it rip, to stop kind of being a little hesitant. So after they told him that practice, they said that was the best practice he's had. And then with our wide receiver group, Sammy being on the PUP, but he's actually practicing now. Christian Watson on the PUP. Apparently, he's been in Aaron Rodgers' back pocket every training camp. Every time he has a question, I'm seeing videos of him asking Rodgers and Rodgers teaching him. So, Rodgers just is creating that wide receiver core, and it's that defense that we have
He's
is
creating the
apparently
wide receiver core.
yeah, he's creating the depth, and they all have to be on page with Aaron
I
Rodgers.
have seen
so
stuff about Romeo.
Yeah, Romeo
I've seen that
Dobbs.
video,
Yep.
or however you say his name,
Yeah.
cooking Jair in the end.
yeah,
I've seen that,
he
so.
and he mossed Stokes at family
what's
night
funny
the other
is
night.
I did a Packers rebuild, and someone commented down below and told me that Romeo Dobbs
Dobbs. Yeah.
was going to be better than Watson. So I don't know anything about those two
He's
guys.
repping that 87, and honestly, he's been doing really, really good in camp. There was one play that I heard within the last couple days that he made the wrong adjustment on a route, and Aaron Rodgers instantly was like, new wide receiver. Like, and they're like, and all the comments below that were like, he's not doing that again. Like,
Rodgers like, get them the
yeah,
hell
he's
out of
like,
here.
get him out. I need somebody else. But it's gonna be exciting to see Rodgers kind of share the ball around the field
Hopefully.
instead of sadly having Tay and giving Tay 14 catches a game. But it's gonna be exciting to see him kind of go over the whole field and utilize all the weapons he's got now.
So you're
even
telling
though
me we should be drafting Christian Watson in fantasy?
no. Any Packers, I don't even know who
I
to
would just
draft,
wait.
man.
I would not waste a pick on him. I
Yeah.
mean,
We'll
just
come
save
up
your
with free
claims.
agency,
Just
yeah.
save your claims, and hopefully they just
I
go
might-
off and you got that first
Yeah,
claim.
the only person I would say to pick on the
Alan
Packers is either Lazard, but definitely Aaron Jones. Definitely.
Oh, yeah, well,
Aaron
that's
Jones.
all- yeah, I
that's
mean-
You're not
definitely
scared
a
of
good
AJ
first round
Dillon
right
at
there.
all? I feel like AJ Dillon's gonna take some time.
Dude,
off.
Oh,
okay,
yeah, he
in
will.
These mock
He
drafts,
definitely will.
I've seen, in these mock drafts, I've seen people taking AJ Dillon before like Josh Jacobs stuff. You got me messed up taking AJ Dillon, a backup running back, over a starting running back.
Well, we're
draft.
just a new 1-2 punch team, so we're gonna be running the ball a lot.
Browns 2.0 coming in.
That doesn't
Packers.
help me win.
Speaking of the
fantasy
Browns, Kareem Hunt.
Yeah, I've seen
Oh,
Kareem
yeah,
Hunt
Kareem
reports
Hunt
that the
was
Raiders.
traded.
Kareem Hunt
Yeah.
requested it.
No, because I was gonna say it to you because I seen reports that the Raiders were apparently interested. I don't know how true that was.
Yeah, I saw that too. So
I didn't even see
that's
that.
one thing
Yeah.
we didn't even I didn't even remember about that. Kareem Hunt also did
Mhm.
request a trade, and Odell's still out there.
And he's
apparently.
staying out,
but the
too.
Browns declined it. The Browns literally declined
said
that
no.
trade.
Basically, they did the same thing like they said to
Baker,
Baker.
but Baker got away.
Baker
But
actually got traded.
but
I'm
Baker
glad.
got away
I'm
because
so glad.
no, but Baker got
He
away
deserves
because
that,
like
man.
he got replaced.
Watson. But
Yeah.
Kareem Hunt, they're not gonna. I don't think they're gonna trade him unless like somehow they just like he forces his way out like 100% because like
the Le'Veon
that's
Bell
literally their 1-2
situation.
punch. Like remember when Nick Chubb was injured for a little bit? Kareem Hunt came
Oh,
over and
yeah,
he
Kareem
literally
Hunt's
proved
dog.
he
Even
proved he
even
was
the
a
guy
starter.
behind him, who was the third
Yo,
string?
what's his
Dearness,
Deontay-
they have Dearness Johnson.
Dearness
Yeah,
Johnson.
yeah. I
Those
remember
are-
when I was in Green Bay for that Halloween game, and yeah, I mean,
those two guys were
if
great.
they
Great
would-
pickups on fantasy.
if they would have kept running that ball
Oh,
that
for
game
real.
in the end and not let Baker throw on that last drive, Packers would have probably lost that.
I don't
the
even
Christmas
know
game.
what team
honestly.
would need like. Where would Kareem Hunt go where he would instantly be the starter? Like I can't even think of a team at the top of my head. Like there's a, like I know the Texans need a running back, but I doubt he would want to go
Maybe-
there. Obviously,
I want to honestly say the Panthers because I don't really know who's their number 2.
Cuba Hubbard or
Yeah,
however
Oh
you say
yeah,
it.
that's right.
Hubbard's
Okay,
good.
yeah. So he
Hubbard's
wouldn't.
a
Yeah,
solid
they wouldn't be a
backup.
I had
slot.
him on like
I
number one running back scenario on a team, and I don't know if that's there.
I don't
I
think
don't think it works
it
for
is,
Kareem
dude.
Hunt. I feel like it's just good as him being a 1-2.
With
No,
how
but-
good,
but
how
He was good.
No,
in
no, he
Kansas
was
City.
good, but I like how
Hella
he is as a
Yeah.
second. How they just
Yeah,
go
I
back
do-
and forth. That
yeah.
just works.
No, it works. And I think you do need to have like a 1-2 punch, not like super punch like they have, but like you at least need like a 1-2 combo, so you're not
it's
putting all the
huge.
running backs
It's
on
so
them.
huge because like what we did a lot is that we would run AJ Dillon through the middle of the games, and then towards the end, when majority of the defense is tired, that's when they push out the number ones because the number ones are healthy, they're ready to go, they're not super tired from running all
Not fatigue
game.
and stuff like that.
Yeah, so I mean, the 1-2 punches are huge now, and that's the best thing to have for your passing game. You got to have the defense scared of your run game. If you
Oh, yeah.
don't, Packers went through that for freaking 12 years where we didn't have a run game, and it was Aaron Rodgers throwing 30, 40 passes a game. Like,
Exactly what the Ravens do with JK and Gus. Man, I'm so happy JK's coming back healthy. He's in training camp right now, working
Yeah, that's
out.
awesome, man.
And, like that's the
huge.
thing with
Yeah, I
us
saw
too.
he got activated off
Yeah.
the pup
But
list, so.
that was just today too, right?
I think it was today or yesterday. I'm not
It
quite
was
sure.
yesterday.
Yesterday,
Dobbins,
okay.
Yeah, I'm high on Dobbins this year. I think he could be really good.
No,
But
he's definitely the number 1 there.
I want to move
Well,
on.
watch
to
it.
the,
Don't sleep on Gus now.
I'm not. No one's sleeping on
Gus is our
Gus.
number 1. JK's the backup.
number
want-
1, number 2 is what you need.
Yeah, that's the
It's what
1-2
you
punch.
need.
It's up there with Kareem and
Like that's a few things that like Kareem Hunt would
promise.
honestly be nice because I mean, even though that the Raiders did just draft like Samir White, and then we also have that dude Amir Abdullah or whatever his name is, the
Yeah.
guy that did the
Oh,
little
shit, from the Lions?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, he
shit.
did that little sidekick
Remember
with a
when
touchdown.
we were in high school in Mr. Mars class? Mr. Robinson was like so high on Amir Abdullah, and he really hasn't done much.
I mean, you can't do a lot when you go to the
I honestly didn't even know. I honestly didn't even know who he was until he literally ran for a
I
touchdown.
remember him just telling us draft Amir in the fantasy draft, and I think at that year I wasn't really playing that much. But
Do the Raiders still have Kenyon Drake?
Yeah.
You guys?
oh
still
yeah,
do?
I forgot about Kenyon Drake.
Honestly, I'm just so hyped about Zamir White and stuff, and obviously, Josh McDaniels has already made it clear
literally
that he's not trading Josh Jacobs.
Yeah, it was a leg for a leg when it comes to the Josh or Kenyon Drake and Logan Thomas. And when the Raiders in Washington played, we injured Kenyon Drake, and then Yannick Ngakoue injured Logan Thomas. So
Dude, your guys' field is cursed, bro.
no, it was in Vegas.
Well,
It was
still, your guys' field is cursed.
yeah, I've heard. Yeah, I know some people.
You guys
get
were injured,
but-
Jake.
Oh,
Yeah.
and actually, since the Raider fan for to talk about his favorite highlight, my favorite highlight so far has to be Devontae Adams cooking up our cornerback Nate Hobbs. He's a young stud, Nate Hobbs is, but he literally gave up. Devontae just did a little, boop, gone. Nate Hobbs just did a little peek like,
Dude,
I'm not getting
wait,
it.
whoa, do that again?
Taze burst off.
Do a little move again.
He said,
Dude, Taze burst off that line,
Show me
dude.
that shimmy
It's
you got
different,
right
dog.
you want to see me on the field. Devontae, they ain't got nothing on me. DK, nobody.
Oh,
Damn.
God.
Well,
dude.
Devontae got paid, right? But what about all these other wide receivers getting paid?
Real quick, before we leave Smith, real quick, I just want to say, since he's young, get the bag while you can. Football's
Who?
not forever.
Roquan
Smith.
Smith.
yeah.
Roquan Smith. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Get the
Definitely
bag, please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every
Like all
other
these-
player is, you might as well.
Yeah, all these wide receivers finally got paid. So DK finally got an extension. Terry McLaurin got an extension. Debo in San Francisco got an extension.
Deontay
Shocking.
Johnson.
Which is
That is shocking.
Kind of
dude.
weird
He
because
wanted out.
I thought for sure they were going to trade him with how
Did-
the offseason
Did you
was
guys
going.
see that video of a kid asking him to sign his 49ers
Yes, I
jersey,
did,
and he
and
was like, "Nah, I can't sign
Talking about
that."
Debo?
Yeah,
Yeah, Debo.
dude, that
He
was
kinda just
that was
ignored
fucked
him.
Up.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I seen
he
that.
told him he's like, "I can't sign that," and walked off. I'm surprised he stayed. I
I
think.
feel like in the video he didn't really say anything to the kid though.
just
He
kinda
just
walked
kind of
off.
like looked at him and just walked
Oh
away.
no,
Yeah.
he straight up said, "I can't sign that."
Are you sure?
Yeah,
I didn't see that,
100%,
but I did see him
100%,
walk
dude.
off.
If you guys
I
find
don't
that
know.
video and look at his mouth, he says, "Oh no, I can't sign that," and he
Oh, we
starts
gotta
walking
go
away.
find it real
Scott,
quick.
Yeah,
Scott was
find
good
it.
at leap reading,
Check it
guys. Do
out.
not
Check it
question
out.
that.
But I think all of the wide receiver, all the wide receiver contracts were good. A lot of them are, 3 years, 70 mil in that
Exactly.
region.
I seen
So
a lot
like,
too.
Cooper
They-
Kupp, Hunter Renfrow got it. Well,
like-
Hunter's was only 2 year, but
out of all the
Deontay Johnson,
contracts,
too.
I
Deontay
didn't
Johnson
like.
2 year.
Deontay Johnson
I
also.
didn't like DK's just because I think he deserves it. Don't get me wrong, but just with the whole situation in Seattle, like with their quarterback situation, I feel like
Drew Lock's gonna come out here and show you what.
okay,
They probably have
dude,
heavy faith in him right now.
I mean,
I haven't heard much about him.
but
I haven't
think
heard
think about-
nothing.
Think about it like this. Like
Which could be
this
good and
year,
bad.
this year's
Yeah, true.
this year's draft was just not quarterback favored. Like none of the quarterbacks are super high ranked. So you might as well just, if you're the Seahawks, have another shitty year if it comes down. I mean, who knows? Maybe Drew Lock or
Like I said,
Geno
man.
Smith can be a stud for a little bit. But if they don't, there's better quarterbacks in the draft next year. You have DK locked up now.
For real,
Tyler
true.
Lockett. I don't know how
Trade
many.
his ass.
at least
I don't like Tyler
At least that
Lockett.
does
You don't
help.
like him.
At least that
He's
does
too
help the
inconsistent for
Seattle
me.
I don't know if
quarterback.
he's gonna be good anymore without Russell Wilson. I feel like that dude was always catching deep.
The-
bombs.
oh,
He was
yeah.
catching some crazy
Like
stuff.
he'd catch deep bombs as Drew Lock.
He was basically like he's basically like a Deshaun Jackson.
Well,
Drew Lock is
does
not.
have a good arm, doesn't he? Like I feel like he could throw. I don't know about accuracy wise, but I feel like he could throw it deep. Right? I could be wrong on that. Maybe
I
I'm-
hope every quarterback can throw a deep
Yeah,
route.
like
You know what I mean?
some kid like Taylor Heineke for us couldn't throw a deep ball to save his life. So
I can't remember.
You're good.
I feel like the only deep route runner that the Broncos really had was Tim Patrick. I think he was kind of
what
their
about
deep.
Sutton?
Sutton.
I get-
He was
Oh,
hurt though.
I keep on
or
forgetting
else-
because Sutton's
He's
always
good. He gets hurt,
injured.
like, every year.
Yeah.
Sutton's hurt again.
No.
No,
He's good. He's good right now.
now.
Yeah,
but
that's
I feel
what
like
I
the last
thought.
2 years.
Like the last 2 years, he's gotten
But
injured.
he's a
both
really good
years.
wide receiver. when
No,
he's
he
healthy.
is. I think he's if you're drafting a Broncos wide receiver, I feel like he's the number one.
I do have a little bit of a negativity on Sutton because one year I did start him in fantasy very early, and I think it was the playoffs, and that dude dropped me 0.8 or something like that. So I always have a
Well, first of all,
vendetta against
who
him,
were they
bro.
playing against? Do you
I don't
remember?
know, bro. It was years ago. That's all.
Okay.
I just remember I had to choose between two guys, and I chose Sutton, and then the other guy I didn't choose went off, and Sutton dropped 0.8. I think this was before we did PPR, but still, that shit pissed me off. That's one thing I have a vendetta against Sutton about.
The only thing that helps Seattle though with the whole DK thing is that whatever quarterback does come in, he has weapons. So it's
Oh,
not
yeah.
like they're coming into Seattle with nothing. So
Noah
if DK
Fant.
would have
Noah Fant
left,
too. Yep.
yeah, fan. I'm super
But,
excited for that.
Carson
Honestly,
retired.
Yeah, I was just about
Yeah.
to say that Chris Carson did
Oh,
retire.
so is Rashad
Running
Penny the
back,
number
Chris
one now?
Carson.
And then Kenneth Walker right behind him, their rookie they drafted.
Okay.
So they have, I think they drafted Charles Cross, I believe, as well in the first round. So Kenneth Walker, Charles Cross, and then So that'll be kind of their
That's-
new
It's
rookie.
low-key kind of sad about the whole Chris Carson thing
His
because
neck,
when
right?
he was
Neck, yeah.
healthy, he was balling, dude.
Oh,
No, Chris
yeah,
Carson.
good.
Chris
He was
Carson
really
always
good.
looked good
very
at times.
solid, very
Mhm.
solid running back.
He was he was always in numbers.
Yeah,
like
it was-
solo 2 starting running back in fantasy every
I
year.
mean, if
Yeah,
you
I'm
fill
mentioning
beast mode
this.
shoes a little bit. I mean, Carson may not have been good as Marshawn Lynch, but he was pretty
Yeah.
good for the most part.
I was
so.
wondering why earlier today I was doing a mock draft, and literally I was wondering why Rashad Penny went off the board. And I was like, I looked at everyone's team. I was like, where's Chris Carson? I didn't even know that he retired or anything. Honestly,
Yeah, it was
Because,
a
like-
whole neck thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Carson
neck
will
injury.
probably, or not Carson. I feel like Rashad Penny will probably start the first
Few
eight,
I feel like he will. He'll take the
8
reps.
games or so, and then Kenneth Walker is they're gonna try to slowly put in Kenneth Walker, and he's gonna slowly take reps, and then if Kenneth Walker looks good, and he's gonna run away with the job. I feel like, but Rashad Penny I think has had problems staying healthy as well. So So I don't know, man. We'll
but I
see.
feel like that whole
Find out.
Seahawks running backs because Carson was always on and off with injuries too. Like he was
Rashad
consistent
Penny.
when he's out. Penny too. I mean,
And
so
then-
maybe Kenneth can get a run out early. Hopefully.
Yeah, true.
But
We'll find
no,
out.
I'm happy for all the wide receivers getting their extensions. Literally, pretty much
Getting
all of
paid.
them. I don't think there's really anyone else who's waiting to get paid.
Oh, we
DeAndre-
forgot to mention one wide
Is it
receiver.
Odell?
Terry
Oh,
McLaurin,
No, I said
ladies.
Terry.
Oh, I thought you
Yeah,
didn't
yeah,
say
you
it.
did
I thought
say
you didn't
Terry.
say
No,
it.
I'm so happy that Terry signed because I was having these two guys. Their teams could use some wide receiver help.
we need it.
These two
Yeah.
guys are sending me screenshots every day about Terry McLaurin not showing up, that he's going to get traded. And I'm like, dude, trust me, Ron Rivera's not that stupid. We're not just going to trade Terry. Why would he go out and trade for Carson Wentz and gamble on Carson Wentz if we're just going to trade his best weapon right afterwards? It made no sense.
Yeah, I kept sending him screenshots of stuff of my Twitter because
I was like,
Packers
bro.
Twitter, where I was always like, "Well, might as well send him to Green Bay now," and I was like,
yeah, but if you
I
look
didn't
up,
believe it
you
at
look
all.
up
Like,
any
there's
player
no
position
way.
that you need on Twitter, just by the name, you'll see all
Every
these
team.
football fans like, we need this wide receiver.
Yeah.
Like you don't even got the money
No,
for
Carson-
it.
It's time for him to come to Green Bay.
He's a Raven, or he's a Commander, or he's a Packer. Like,
Yeah.
Listen, I let the
yeah.
front office deal with all that. I just do the recruiting, okay?
I know. I was like, man, Terry McLaurin is gonna sign this extension. It's just only a matter of time, and it finally happened. And I'm glad it's over with because I was getting tired of that and just I was worried. For some little doubt, I was a little worried that they were gonna cheap out and try to offer him lowball money, and then he was gonna get pissed. But thankfully, he signed. So. Glad to have him
Imagine they
locked up.
lowballed him, and then
Oh
he was
my
just
God.
like, I never want to play for the Commanders
And
again.
AJ Brown is someone we didn't even talk about. He got an extension
Oh yeah, I remember
yeah.
calling that. Remember you didn't say he was gonna get traded.
To
Yeah.
Philadelphia,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, Philadelphia. AJ Brown and Devonta Smith. That should be
That's gonna be a really.
that's
good...
gonna be a nice duo. Jalen Hurts
Yeah.
got some weapons. So
Hey, not
I-
only with Curtis Samuel too. I want him to be healthy. I think
Oh,
that's gonna
yeah.
be nice. for
And
Terry
think about what
McLaurin.
I was saying months ago about how, because everyone knows, well, back in the day, that I have a bunch, I don't have a hella faith in Jalen Hurts, but I think he could be a starter in this league. And just him adding
He
AJ
already
Brown, this
is.
is his proving. This is, you know what I mean,
No,
though,
no,
like
I'm just
consistent
kidding.
starter.
Yeah, no. For
But because everyone, all this fans of the Eagles always are like, he's ass, he's average, he's mid, he's this. And then you have those Eagles fans who are like, he's the best quarterback in the league. So. But I have faith in him, and now this is his proving. You have AJ Dillon, Devontae, or Devontae.
you said okay. You went AJ Dillon.
I'm an AJ Brown.
That's where you got screwed up.
He's talking about his fantasy
No, but you
team.
bring up Curtis Samuel. Yeah, if he could stay healthy, I'm excited. And then our first round pick was Jahan Dotson, and people have been saying that he might be our best wide receiver right now, which
Whoa.
is crazy to
That
say
is a reach.
because he definitely has really good hands. I know that for a fact. He is a little small. But if he does come out and is a really good weapon for Wentz, it's only going to help.
The fact that that's already being said with Terry McLaurin already on the team, like
Yeah, but
you
you-
automatically
I saw
know
it on
that's a
Twitter.
number two
On
right
Twitter,
there.
I read it briefly. I didn't know. If
But
it
you
was-
know how it is with these rookies, though, bro. Like they have one good training camp day, and these people are
No,
like,
remember
you see-
Jamar Chase? He was dropping passes left and right. People were dogging him. Now look what he did last
That's
year.
true.
That's
true.
but
And
that's
also, I
what
wanna
I'm
bring
about
up-
to say.
I want to bring up Pickens. Have you guys heard everything about him?
Steelers?
Yeah.
wide receiver?
He's been highly talked about.
Like in a
Oh,
good
I
way.
haven't heard too much.
George
I haven't
Pickens,
seen
I've
too
seen
much.
some tweets about him being really good, for the
Mhm.
Steelers, and they already have a lot of good wide receivers.
Yeah.
For real,
Claypool-
they just signed Deontay Johnson longer,
Yeah.
didn't
yeah,
they?
Deontay Johnson just got extended,
Yep.
and then George Pickens. I feel like Juju's not there anymore.
Nope.
No,
So
he's
I
Chiefs.
guess
Claypool now.
Pickens can step into that.
Oh, I
role.
also did hear news that Juju has been looking like he's taking the #1 spot. For
I mean,
the
Ooh, I
Chiefs.
heard
did see that
MVS
today.
was. I heard MVS was the best
I
wide
don't
receiver.
see MVS as number one.
No.
Dude,
I
Solid
saw
number two, though.
I saw the report today because I was literally doing a fantasy draft, and I clicked on Juju's thing to see if I was going to draft him. Decided not to, but I looked at it and I saw on the thing is head coach says that Juju has solidified like himself as like the big body like #1 receiver as of like right
That doesn't
now.
surprise me.
It really
doesn't
does.
surprise
I mean, this was
the
his time
job's
to
for the
prove
taking.
it.
Sky Moore's there as
Yeah,
well.
Sky Moore. I heard
So-
he's
Yeah.
balling too over
It'll
there
just
in
be
Kansas
different.
City.
It'll be a different look in Kansas City without Tyreek Hill, and then Byron Pringle's gone, Demarcus Robinson's gone.
Still got Kelsey.
and then
Still got
McCole
Har-
Hardman
yeah,
is
they still have
there,
him.
but I think he's also due for an extension. I could be wrong on that.
I
Yeah.
would definitely keep him if I was the Chiefs, though. I like
Who?
McCall Hardman a lot.
Oh.
Yeah.
He's gonna be the #2 for sure.
I mean,
He has the
speedster
Tyreek
as
Hill
well.
speed for sure.
Yeah, definitely.
It's
But-
Mahomes who's throwing the ball. So I
Yeah.
mean, everybody's gonna get a chance.
I do
Straight
want to
up.
bring up one wide receiver though, Odell Beckham. I
Oh,
know
yeah.
he hasn't
but
got a
where's he
contract or
gonna go?
nothing, but I did see a lot of Buffalo Bills players recruiting him. Von Miller.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, I
one of
saw
them.
that. If what's the locker look like next year?
Yeah.
I still keep seeing Packers are involved. Like
Oh.
like the only
But
inquiry.
every
like
team
they
that
made an
needs a
inquiry.
wide receiver right now
Yeah.
is like, we need to
I
go
would
get
like-
OBJ.
But I don't know if I want him though.
I would love the Ravens to get him.
I would rather just roll out with what you guys got right
Exactly.
now.
Like see what the
Fine.
rookies do, and then middle of the season if he still has a sign, then
probably have Rodgers for at least 2 to 3 more years. See
Exactly.
what you can do with him.
Fine, Odell, then come to Baltimore, buddy.
Yeah, if Odell wants to go to Baltimore
I
or
would
Buffalo,
love that.
those are 2 good spots. And then Sean McVay is still actively recruiting him on TV. He was doing an interview and it's like, Odell, if you still want to come back, stuff like that.
Imagine, dude, if they
I
got
saw
him.
that when Cooper Kupp
Allen
ranked his top
Robinson.
5 wide receivers, he's like,
I'd
Allen
be pissed.
Robinson,
Robinson.
Cooper
I,
Kupp.
I, I
Odell.
hope
Oh
Odell
my
signs
God.
before we do our actual fantasy draft. That way we know. That way I'm not drafting like Allen Robinson and Odell's there as well in LA and then just like a weird
Shit the
log
bed.
jam. It's
Yeah.
I mean, they
just a
did have
weird
Robert
logjam.
Woods and Cup on the same team.
Well, yeah, but
yeah, but
they-
Robert Woods
got immediately hurt.
Oh, yeah,
Odell.
but-
I don't even know if
So
they
you-
ever
so-
saw the field
no,
together.
no, you didn't ever see Robert Woods and Odell on the field together. So like, you really
Yeah.
can't say how like the distribution.
Oh yeah, with
would
all
be
3 of them,
between
but I'm
yeah.
saying with Cup and just Woods.
Yeah, I mean, no, I think Kupp and Allen Robinson is just
Yeah, okay.
perfectly fine.
Did
but
Robinson have like the most contested catches last season? Is either that season or the season before he had the most contested catches?
I don't know that.
Homie can catch the ball under
No, yeah,
pressure.
for
That's all
sure.
I know.
I mean,
so
I
Which
mean-
is why I was
number
mad he
2.
stayed that
He's
last
on the
year
Raiders now,
in
so-
Chicago.
If you're talking about DeMarcus Robinson.
No,
No,
no, no, no.
Allen Robinson.
Allen
Oh, Allen Robinson.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
My bad. All right, regardless, though, we want to move on to the biggest topic that we wanted to address last week, but we couldn't get to it because obviously we didn't film last week. But Deshaun Watson finally got his suspension. We were kind of talking about it for a majority of the year, what was going to happen with him. And he's only getting suspended for 6 games, which has brought a lot of people to
6
being
to 8, I
upset.
thought.
I think is it 6?
Well, they're
I
actually
thought it
not
was
even.
6.
They're not even done figuring
Yeah,
out.
it's-
They
there's a-
put
Yeah,
the
there's another
appellate
court
building
hearing.
out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're trying to get a year.
And
Yeah,
then,
they're
isn't
trying
he
to get him out
appeal it as
indefinitely.
well?
yeah, he's
they're
trying to
trying to
appeal
get a
it.
year for him.
He said that his lawyer said that if they try to go after the year, they're gonna try to appeal it and try to fix it. But at the same time, they said it's all in Roger Goodell's. Like they put out.
What
the
did
6
Roger
games, it
Goodell
says up to
say
him.
about something about? He said something about Watson, but I can't remember exactly. I think Roger Goodell said himself that he wasn't going to get intertwined with the whole Deshaun Watson situation. That
I
he
don't
was just
know
going to let it.
why. Like, wasn't it Taylor Gabriel that got suspended the whole year for gambling?
No, that's what I was going to bring up. So, like, basically, the reason why people are so upset, it wasn't Taylor Gabriel, it was Calvin Ridley.
Oh yeah.
Calvin Ridley. So, I know why it's happening, but is it right is the question. So, basically, Ridley gambles $1,100, gets suspended a whole season.
On a whole
Watson-
different game. That
Yeah.
wasn't even his game. They
Or
had
it
no
was
control.
his game.
No, he bet
Was
on his
it?
own team.
He bet on his own team and they
What?
suck. So,
Mhm.
Oh my.
he bet
God.
1,100. So, basically, he
It's
lost
way worse than I
a lot
thought.
of money.
Uh-huh.
And he gets suspended all year. And then Watson, on the other hand, has, what is it,
40
20,
plus. It was
25,
40, whatever.
Dude, it's like
maybe.
40
Not
plus
only-
sexual allegations.
Not only that, but all these players that get suspended for weed, like Josh Gordon, and then you got DeAndre Hopkins for using enhancement drugs.
PEDs.
You know-
And they get suspended even longer than Watson did.
It's one thing to have a couple women come through and try to say that stuff, and that's where it could possibly get to be debunked. But when you got 20 plus coming
Yeah,
out
40,
saying the
20.
same
Yeah.
shit, something's going on, man. And you gotta give him a year for
And
that,
at
dude.
first-
Like, there's
go
no way you don't get a year for that. Some dude just got a year for gambling, and this dude's over here sexually assaulting and harassing over 20, 40 women, and he gets 6, 7 games,
And then
it's
you
just
got players,
trash.
like I said, Gordon gets suspended for years.
Yeah,
for,
dude.
weed or
for
whatever.
weed, yeah, it's just trash, man.
And then, like I said, at first I was, with Watson, I just thought, these ladies just came out of nowhere and were like teaming up and we're just going against him because, he's famous, whatever. But then now I'm seeing all these cases come together. I'm like, you know what?
so many, dude.
Yeah.
He
There's
settled-
just
I
so
think
many.
He
Kinda
settled the
hard.
majority of them, whatever that means. I'm not obviously he's not in any trouble.
You know,
it seems like.
you know
Dustin
what
did
that
say
means.
he got that $235 million and
Yeah,
you paid him off.
And I've seen a lot of these, but a lot of them are like his therapists and stuff like that.
No, like,
and
that's like the
he didn't
thing.
even notify the team what he was doing. He didn't notify the team that he was getting these massages and stuff. So yeah,
See,
like
that just sounds sus. I don't
it's
know.
sketchy as hell.
So I don't know if I like Watson personally anymore.
But it's like I'm not sticking up for Watson or anything. But just the thing that like you see like these like stupid TikTok videos, like these girls that like when a guy pulls up in a Lamborghini, they'll be like, "Oh my god, I want you." Like imagine massaging Deshaun Watson, like one of the best quarterbacks in the league, probably one of the richest dudes.
It's like
And
half
like,
of them did it.
Yeah, and they're like, "Nah, we're exposing him." But like,
yeah.
so
I
like
mean,
it's just weird.
It
But like,
could be that
now I see to have
way.
respect for Watson because I kind of lost all respect for
But
him.
how mad does it make you that Ridley gets suspended a whole season?
Oh, that's stupid.
It's
No, yeah,
trash,
it's
dude.
Watson
sucks.
Especially
Suspended for 6
Gordon
games.
being as good as he was and never really having a full career because of the whole weed situation.
Yeah.
Like,
Mhm.
did you guys see Percy Harvin, an old Minnesota Vikings wide receiver, come out and say that he used to get high before every game?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude,
Every
there's
game
a
he
bunch
said
of
he was
a bunch
high.
of
There's
players have
a
said that.
bunch
Even
of players
NBA
used to do
players
that.
have said that stuff like
dude,
that.
a bunch of players were like, "Oh yeah, dude, I would just get like high as hell before we started the game. So like when I took a bunch of hits, I didn't feel it as much. Like I was like just all like
It
my
loo-
body
it-
was
it-
all
it
down.
loosened
I
him
thought
out.
Randy Moss said that he did.
Randy
that.
Moss
I know
did it
Percy
too.
Harvin for sure. Though.
I
I
might
remember
be
seeing that
wrong.
video.
It might have been someone else. But yeah, like stuff like that. If Watson can sexually out or get
Sexual allegations.
yeah, sexual allegation with all these women, why is he only getting suspended 6 games? And I know why. It's because
But the NFL's always done that. That
doesn't
they don't.
interfere unless if it actually bothers their
Bothers them.
pocket,
But-
basically.
but
But we
it's
can't
also-
say it's done yet because the NFL did
It
appeal
is
it.
not done yet,
so
that is true.
they might be a year.
It's also one of those touchy situations where there's no legitimate proof. There's just a whole bunch of allegations. But when
Yes.
you have so
Or he
many
said, she said. He
allegations,
said, she
yeah,
said.
there's no concrete video proof. There's no him straight up
Watson made sure he
admitting
wasn't
it.
Whoa, hold on. I
video.
think Skylar might be supporting him. He has a Browns logo on his shirt. There.
No, dude, honestly, I'm not a Browns fan at all. Like, after they did Baker dirty, I think this is straight up karma. Straight up karma, because they said going into the next season, Baker was number 1. And then they told him, hey, you're number 1. Goes out, gives him, what, a $250 million
35,
deal?
I think.
Going through
Guaranteed, fully
all these
guaranteed.
so going through all these allegations.
In all
so
fairness,
it's
though,
karma,
when they did
bro.
tell Baker that, I think Watson eliminated them. So they're like, okay, well, I guess
Yeah, we all thought he was not going to the
we
Browns.
can go tell Baker that he's our number 1 and everything's solved now. But I think Baker was still pissed at that moment, obviously. 'cause
It was trash, dude. With what Deshaun's going through, that was a dumbass move
And, like,
to go
that's
out
the
there and
thing,
spend
a lot of teams-
$230 million with all these
and all the
and
draft
allegations.
picks they gave up.
Yeah.
Oh, they gave up so much.
Yeah,
for him.
it
3
was-
first-round picks or something like
And,
that.
like,
I know the
that's-
Texas GM is just sitting back, just laughing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Give me all those pick
Finessed him.
equity. So
I mean, plus like the Texans needed that. I mean, you can't just.
No,
what's
yeah,
the
they
point of
definitely
just sticking
did.
around? I mean, you have a young, good quarterback, and you're just rebuilding it slowly. I mean, you got a nice wide receiver in Brandon Cooks with Davis Mills now.
Mills their guy, huh?
Yep. That's
All
his
right,
duo.
We'll find out how it goes. Honestly, I hope it gets straightened out, and I hope it looks a lot better for the NFL. Roger Goodell, we know how he is with managing the fucking NFL. So I mean, we'll see what he does. He's always a hard ass when it comes to it, and
No
it's
one
no
likes
fun
him.
league. So let's find out what the fuck he does. So
yep, we got preseason week 1 this weekend. So
Let's go.
we're gonna be back
I'm excited.
next Wednesday, and we'll talk about some preseason games.
And
we'll
yeah,
look at.
don't if you guys see any games of the preseason or see any plays that like you guys want us to like talk about, because I want to talk about like something like these, especially a younger player like the rookies. Like I want to see like some of their plays and like talk about it.
yeah,
and, like,
comment below and let us know what kind of players you want us to check out. What do you want us to talk about, and we'll intertwine them into our videos.
Yeah.
Will the Ravens continue the best preseason record ever?
Yeah, no, I'm gonna try to
Undefeated.
just watch as much not fantasy football, as much preseason football as I can and other teams, as long as the games don't get too boring. As long as there's players out there that I know. Like, I
yeah,
don't wanna
low
watch
key.
players that aren't gonna make the roster and stuff.
Low
like
key,
that.
I love watching our preseason games just to see what the rookies, the second string,
No, I'm
third
gonna watch
strings
mine
can all
for sure.
do.
Like I'm gonna watch Washington
Yeah.
preseason.
And see,
but
like, that's the
it's a
thing
fight for 53 now. That's
Oh,
what's
yeah.
about to
But
happen.
that's the thing that was kind of boring with like the Raiders game when me and Brady were watching. It's just like a lot of the players out there, like they're not fighting for a start. Like we literally have one wide receiver spot open. Like
we had
Renfro
like a
and
couple of drives with Trayvon Walker and Josh Jacobs.
Yeah.
I don't know. That was kind of weird that Josh.
I was
Jacobs
actually
playing.
Yeah, that is weird.
I was working.
You know
during
why
that
Josh
game.
McDaniel said that he likes to run like to always run his running backs in preseason.
No, that shit is still risky. After what happened last year.
the Dobbins.
Yeah.
I didn't see too much of that game. I was working during it, but I was still
You didn't
watching
miss
little.
much.
Yeah,
You
and
didn't
I
miss
talked to one of
anything.
my managers about it, and he was like, honestly, first quarter, I knew some people. Then second, third, fourth, I didn't know what the fuck was going on. So I'm like, it makes sense because those are fourth, fifth stringers trying to show, hey, I'm here to play some football.
Actually,
So-
but actually, I got one more thing to bring up before we end this. Did you guys see that Daniel Jones fucking pass?
Oh,
That
yeah.
like, dude, they said that he was throwing it away.
Yeah, that one guy said,
he was
"Hey, he was just throwing it away." Do you think he
Dude,
was?
No, that was not no throwaway. He missed, dude. That receiver was like all the way up there. He was like very corner, missed the throw. I was like,
Jesus.
what the Giants? I feel so bad for these Giants fans. How the fuck can you guys just sit there and let your organization for 4 years be like, Daniel Jones is our fucking starter? That motherfucker hasn't proven shit.
Giant fans, I'm not a part of
Brian
this.
Dable's gonna transform him.
Yep, 4 years.
All right,
in the
boys,
making.
we're gonna end it off there. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video or podcast, whatever this is anymore. But this is in the slant, and we're saying
Can we do
peace.
that?
Peace out.
Peace.